One thing you did when you were in your 20s that you regret that would change your life today?
I regret being a hoe. When I was in my 20s, I was a hoe.
What do you mean by that?
I was a hoe. I was doing a lot of women that I shouldn't have been doing, and I had a family that I could deal with. So I was just out there doing, anybody. Not like that, but I was just picking and choosing what I wanted and who I wanted because I had a little reputation here in Springfield, and that got me a lot of things, and especially a lot of women. And I regret using them, and regret using who I was.
Wow. So you would have not like smashed the women?
I wouldn't have smashed them like I did. No.
What would you would have did?
What would I would have done? Stay with my one son's mother and been married and been happy today. That's probably a regret that I've gotten over, but I would still be with her because I still have some great feelings for her in my heart, but I know how to navigate through that. But I wouldn't have been the hoe that I was back then.
So what made you be a hoe?
It was ingrained in me. My uncle was a hoe. My grandfather was a hoe. My brothers was hoes. My cousins was hoes. I'm sorry, it might not sound right. My mama was a hoe. I'm telling the truth. You know, said 6 kids by 5 different men. Don't that qualify?
God, dog. You know what? I got to give old school his props. I got to give old school his props for his honesty. But what is that going to do at this point? And I know I'm saying old school because look at me. I got this gray in my beard. But you'd be surprised at how many men his age is in nursing homes right now, sitting up in hospice right now, that don't have the health, the God-given health to walk around and stand like he was able to do and to communicate their regrets in life. And that's what I really want a lot of men to understand. That's why I'm so passionate about the state of manhood. Because, fellas, sleeping with a bunch of women ain't nothing cool about that. Sleeping with a bunch of women, just getting around all over the place, ain't nothing cool about that. Because there's so many men in hospice right now. There's so many men in these nursing homes right now where nobody's checking on them. There's so many men that's dying alone right now that have the regrets like that man has. And they got to live with it. And they got to take their they got to live their last final days and take their last final breaths living with that type of regret in them. And they got sons and they got daughters all over the place. And yeah, they may not know each other, but one thing a lot of these kids can agree on that don't know their dad that been around, that was a Rolling Stone, one thing they can agree on is that they all equally despise their father. And we have so many men in hospice right now that's dying alone, that's not being checked on because nobody cares. Nobody cares to see them. Nobody cares to visit them, not even on holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving. I have nurses on both sides of my families. Nurses on both sides of my family, on my mom's side and on my dad's side. And they tell me these nightmare stories of they can't even get nobody in some of these men family to bring a pair of drawers up there, to help pay for to help get him something. Because a lot of these people, they checked out. They'll go in there, throw him in the nursing home, put a little fake phone number on there, and then when they try to call that phone number, it's been disconnected. You have now reached, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many people, and the only people that a lot of men like that's in these nursing homes or dying alone, they got to deal with somebody that's tolerating them. They got to deal with a nurse that's tolerating them, that's annoyed with them for 10, 12-hour shifts. And they're not getting loved. They're not getting love. They're getting dealt with. That's a difference. Until that nurse has to leave and the other nurse checks in and begrudgingly has to deal with a man like that. And it's so sad, man. And what's crazy is he can speak to the fact that he had a good woman and he still had feelings for her, but I'm not sure if she went on and got remarried or just whatever. But the fact that he's able to speak to the woman that he still loves and he know it's too late. But he got all this miles on him, all this damage, all these soul ties. It's nothing cool about that. It's nothing cool about that. And that's why I say it's so crucial for men. No matter how much a lot of you men say about women, as a man, it comes back on us. All of it. It all comes back on us. Because just like I said in the video earlier, you can talk about women on OnlyFans. You can talk about women in the strip club. You can talk about unruly women in adult films, IG doing thirst traps, twerking, and all of that. You can talk about all those women. But who's funding all of those women? Who's keeping those women popular? Men. Who's paying for it? Who's flying these women out on the low? Who's falling for the thirst traps? Who's commenting on pictures? Who's liking it? Who's this? Who's that? Who's subscribed to OnlyFans? Men. That's making it $1 billion industry. Why is the strip club open? Men supporting it. You can talk about the lifestyle of the strippers, like I said. You can talk about the dancers, but who's supporting it? Men. So no matter what a lot of you complain about women, it all falls back on us. That's why I talk about accountability the way that I talk about. That's why I talk about love. That's why I talk about marriage. That's why I talk about commitment. Because ain't nothing out there. When you get a woman, sit down somewhere. When you get a woman of quality that's going to love you for you, and yeah, you not perfect and she's not perfect, but when you get a woman that love you for you and that's willing to work with you and be your better half, man, you better go sit down somewhere. You better marry that woman and sit down somewhere, bruh. Because a lot of times, a lot of people, they not even able to find that one person in their lifetime. And when you are a man, and some of you men bashing women and have the viewpoints towards women, but a lot of you met quality women, women that was marriage material that you didn't commit to, women that you didn't marry. Why are you complaining about women? Why do we have so many men that have this hateful spirit towards women? When a lot of you, just like this man in this video, was moving with ungodly intentions. Moving with ungodly intentions. Not trying to get married, not trying to do right, not trying to commit, and being with all these women with ungodly intentions, but yet we have a bunch of men like that haven't reached to that level of realism and regret yet right now they're mad at women. How can you be mad at women when it's you as a man moving with ungodly intentions, moving in that direction of that video I just showed y'all? You're headed in that route. You're following the same instructions. You're following the same GPS as that man that I showed y'all in that video. Yet a lot of you are mad at women. Women ain't perfect. I get it. But man, getting around, I'm telling you, man, it ain't worth it, man. It really ain't. It's really not all that. That's why I'm so glad I'm married and I'm off the market. Me and my wife, we've been married for almost 15 years. And it's not perfect. It's a challenge. But you know what? I'll rather go through this challenge with my wife because I know her. I can trust her. I know what she's made of. She knows what I'm made of. And I've never put her through anything like cheating. You know what I'm saying? Catch her, stepping out on her finding text messages, her finding earrings in my car of another one. We don't go through stuff like that. I've never had to do stuff like that. We've never gone through stuff like that in that marriage, and we won't. We won't. Because I fear God too much. I fear the wrath of God too much because my woman is a God-fearing woman. And when you have a wife that's a God-fearing wife, a God-fearing woman, that's what's going to elevate your fear of God in you as a man. And because marrying a woman, man, I've got so much favor for being committed to my wife, financially, physically, mentally, emotionally, like every aspect that you can think of. I've obtained so much favor. And we have so many men out here just like this in this video that I was looking at that don't obtain favor. And they walking through life with no purpose, walking through life like a zombie. And when they get older, Now they saying it unapologetically. Man, I wish I could have did this. Man, I could have wish I could have did that. Or men sitting in nursing homes, dying, literally right now as I shoot this video. Some men dying in a few hours, dying tomorrow, nobody around. They son ain't gonna be there to hold their hand. They daughters ain't gonna be there to hold their hand. Nobody gonna be in the room to hold their hand as they take their dying breaths. And there's so many men out here like that. But I remember when my grandfather, when he got his kidney, before he passed in 2021, and he went through a kidney transplant back in what, 09. I think it was 09 or 2008 or something like that. Man, it was, man, my grandfather kept the room of visitors. My grandma, my mama, my brother, me, my cousins, my aunt, my uncles, like he kept visitors up there. It was on rotation. And those nurses know they couldn't pull nothing over our eyes because we was up there. But when I was up there, I noticed there was a bunch of men in there, just no visitors. And even nurses was telling me, man, Mr. Robert, man, he's blessed because a lot of these men up here, they don't have no visitors. And I'm like, for real? And it was so sad. It was, man, and this was back in 09, 2008, 09, one of the two, I can't remember. But even after that, I went to nursing homes to visit, relatives and stuff like that. Seeing the same thing. But the women in there, they kept visitors. Mamas, grandmas kept visitors in there. And yeah, I'm sure there may be some anecdotal arguments and some women might have died by themselves. But for the majority, from what I've seen, man, them women kept people in the room. Sons, daughters, brothers, sisters. People checking in on them every day. But we have so many men walking around here living life like it's Grand Theft Auto, living recklessly, and then having regrets in the end. But anyway, leave your comment down below. Let me know what you think. Peace.